Happy Wednesday, everyone. We got some birthdays coming at you. Double the fun. Happy birthday, Stacy. Happy birthday, Randy. I hope you guys have a fantastic day today, and I hope you enjoy the beeping good time I have ready for you. Now, before we get to that, let's talk about our warm-up. We have a plank rock to down dog for 3 to 5 reps, into a humeral glide to knee push-up for 3 to 5 as well. Single leg bridge hold for 15 seconds per side, and a prone shoulder raise of 6 to 10 alternating reps. So a little bit of lower body, a whole lot of core, and a little bit of shoulder lift there. 1 to 2 rounds there, taking that through. We're going to move into the bottom phase here, which is going to be more focused on the lower half, which is a lateral ski jump for 20 seconds, back scale raise of 3 a side, and a standing lunge of 3 reps per side to work on positioning. And you can take that down 2-3 rounds, just a quick little triplet before hitting a practice round of our exercises to come. Our workout today is an on the minute again for 4 rounds. It's a little shorter this time though, because there's only 3 exercises. We have minute number 1, lunge, 16 to 20 alternating reps. It is an unloaded lunge, so it's a nice opportunity to move just nice and smooth. Then we have minute number 2, 10 to 15 burpees, and that is going to be a tall task to get in that minute, so you're going to have to be moving on the set that you choose. And then minute number 3, you have box jump of 10 reps or some sort of box jump equivalent, which we'll have in the workout description. Let's get you ready, let's get you warm, and let's celebrate these birthdays with beeping good time. Let's get those legs into those hips. We'll take the arms big and tall up overhead. We're just going to reach it for length to one side, reach it for length to the other side. We'll come back through. We're going to forward fold all the way down to the ground. We're going to walk up our shins. Nice flat back, and we're going to frame a foot. Stepping it back into our lizard, nice and square in those legs. We'll take the inside hand to the sky. We're going to rotate forearm to the floor. We'll come back up to the sky. Rotate, forearm to the floor, and to the sky, and then rotate to the floor. A big old stretch overhead. Planting that hand, we'll step back into that down dog, reaching through those hips. We're going to walk those heels for a few reps. Just nice and smooth back and forth. And we'll come back into our plank. I'm going to step that other foot up, nice and square. Inside hand again is going to reach to the ceiling. We're going to rotate, forearm down. We'll take it back up, and then rotate, forearm down. Take it back up, and then rotate, forearm down. Take that arm back to the sky. Plant that hand. Outside hand reaches to the ceiling. We'll come back down with that hand and step back into our down dog. So reaching through those hips, walk those feet out nice and slow. Just kind of feel those ankles at the end. Then we'll come back into our plank, pressing that floor away. We'll tiptoe those feet all the way up. And we're going to roll ourselves all the way back up to the sky. We'll reach to one side. We'll reach to the other side. We'll come back down. We'll get you ready for action. So what we got coming your way, we have a nice little chunk of work. So if you have any extra movement you'd like to take down for yourself, pause the video, take that down now. Come back and join me. We're going to move through our first phase of warm-up. All right, you guys, we're going to play around first off with a plank rock to down dog. So we're going to get ourselves set up in our strong plank position. So hands just outside the shoulders. I'm going to push the floor away, pull the ribs in, and I'm going to pull with my upper body. I'm going to pull my body forward to an extended position that I feel comfortable with. And then I'm going to press myself back into that nice down dog, pushing that floor away, setting those shoulders, and then coming back into my plank. It's very important that I set that position before I pull with the upper body so that my shoulders are ready to do that active pull down. So you're going to feel this portion of the body pulling the body forward as we get that plank rock. So set the shoulders in that plank before we make that effort into that rock. Our next exercise is our humeral glide to knee push-up. So my hands are going to be outside of my shoulders. I'm going to pull my shoulders forward. I'm going to pull them back into that nice set down position. So my elbow is stacked over top of my wrist. I'm going to pull my ribs in to get tight and set, and press to my knees in that good old knee plank. So my knee plank, hands under my shoulders, ribs are set,
I'm going to slowly lower forward and down, back to that tripod position, and reset. So something very important to keep in mind is we're looking to set up that tripod on the bottom of the floor. So hands and head create that nice triangle to create that good pressing position. After that, we're going to roll over onto our back and work on a single leg bridge.
Now with this single leg bridge, I want you guys to really focus your attention on the leg pressing into the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our ribs, we're going to reach our arms to the sky with a little bit of protraction, so a little reach. We're going to push our left foot into the floor, and what we're going to do is we're going to lift that body up by pushing our feet down, pushing that left foot into the floor as I lift my right foot up, and just hold this position for 15 seconds. I'm focusing on pushing down with that left foot, and that's what's going to help stabilize my midsection as I hold that bridge. From there, I'm going to push down with the other side to lift the other leg. And I'm always focusing on the downward pressure of this leg to create that tension and stability necessary to maintain that bridge. So I'm not concerned about how high I'm getting, but I am going to establish a nice two-footed bridge first with that good pressure into the floor before I lift that leg up off the ground. I want to establish a really good bridge position first before moving into the single. My last exercise is a prone shoulder raise. So we get to lay on our stomach with this one. So we're nice and long, palms are down, eyes are down. I'm going to push my toes together and into the ground, pulling the ribs in so I get that little hollow. Push my armpits down and push my palms down. I'm then going to lift my right arm off the floor, keeping my armpit facing the floor. Come down, and I'm going to lift my left arm, maintaining that good hollow the entire time. Remembering that it's not about the height of the arm coming off the floor, but the ability to maintain this position here as we maintain that good shoulder position. Trying not to rotate onto the other arm, but staying nice and square through our torso and our body. Challenging movement, but don't worry about how high the arm gets. Focus on that position. As a quick recap, we have a plank rock plus down dog for 3 to 5 reps. Humeral glide to knee push-up for 3 to 5. Single leg bridge hold for 15 seconds aside, and a prone shoulder raise of 6 to 10 alternating reps with a little second hold or two on each lift. Now remembering, if you want to reset your position in between some sets of those, please do so every couple reps. Check on that core position to make sure we're in that good position the entire time. 1 to 2 rounds, pause it, rock it, hit that work set, come back and join me. We're going to focus on that next phase. I'm just going to kickstart off with a little bit of jumping. All right, our next phase of work is going to kickstart off with some lateral ski jumps to work on some lateral explosive movement and control. So I'm going to get myself balanced on this left foot, and I'm going to swing those arms and extend and reach and get that nice explosive swing and jump. So I swing, jump, and I pause briefly at the end of that jump to show control in that lateral position. Now if you're not a jumper, that's fine. We can do the same thing with a step, and a step, and a step. And we move smoothly with that same flow, that same movement with the upper body and the hips to get that momentum created without any leaving of the ground and without a lot of impact for this stepping over and coming into that lateral position. Remembering the size of step and jump is totally up to you. It doesn't have to be max effort, big jump. It can be a small lateral movement, whatever you're comfortable with. From there, we're going to move into a back scale raise, and this is going to bring everything back into that lower half for balance purposes. So I'm going to get myself set up in my kickstand like I would for an RDL. I'm going to set my hands so I have a good engagement through the upper body, straighten out the back leg so my hip is square, and I'm going to slowly push that heel back, keeping that body square to the floor as I have a little bit of softness in that balancing leg. My goal in this movement is to keep my hips square to the floor, preventing any rotation. So we're trying to stay nice and level as we work through that flow. Now keeping in mind as well, if you're doing this and balance is an issue and you're taking
still in a big straight line with my leg to shoulder position, and I'm just gonna come back up. So I'm only gonna work to my edge of range of motion there to make sure I'm good to go, and I'm working on good strong leg position, balance, and stability. Now my last exercise in this piece is a standing lunge, so I'm really gonna get my stances good to go and get prepped for what's to come in our workout. So I'm gonna set myself up in my squat stance. I'm gonna step my right foot forward first and my left foot back. So I'm in this kind of staggered stance, my split stance. From here, I'm gonna squeeze and set those hips. I'm going to lower straight down towards the floor, keeping this knee stacked over the heel, the back knee under the hip, under the shoulder, and then I'm going to push back up to that standing position. So I'm really focused on going straight down to where I feel comfortable, and then straight back up with that good control. Now something that's really important with this exercise is keeping that slightly wider stance, so I'm above my squat stance the whole time, and I have that long stance to allow that knee to stay stacked over the heel, and this knee to stay stacked under the hip, under the shoulder. But don't forget about that stance. A lot of the time we try and do this too narrow, and it's like I'm on a tightrope. Give yourself that space. Hip to squat stance is a beautiful distance to focus on balance and positioning. As a quick recap with that little lower body triplet, we have a lateral ski jump of 20 seconds, back scale raise of 3 per side, and a standing lunge of 3 reps per side. Taking that down, kind of getting your legs kind of primed and ready before jumping into a practice round before we set that timer. So let's take down about 1 to 3 rounds of this piece right here. Get yourself ready before we hit that timer. So let's go talk about those work sets. Alright, you guys, we made it to the work set. We got a pretty straightforward workout today. It's all body weight today. It's going to be a great day. I'm excited for it. We got it on the minute for 4 rounds. Minute number 1, we have our lunge. So our lunge, we can work on a normal empty-handed lunge. We can do a forward lunge, working back and forth with that nice smooth flow. We can also work on a back lunge, depending on what you're more comfortable with in that movement set. That's going to set you up in a good position. If you vary back and forth between them, whatever you did last time, maybe flip and do the opposite side this time, or flip and do the opposite direction, just to give yourself a good balance. I will have some other lunge options, all right, in the bottom of the workout description, so check that out, make sure you're good to go with those. But we want to make sure we're bringing all of our pieces that our standing lunge has into our lunge flow in that movement. Our next exercise is the burpee, and we have 2 variations of the burpee for you guys today. So we have our full burpee, hands come down, we touch our chest to the floor, we come back up, or hands come down, we step and lower, and then we step back up. We also have the squat thrust, which is a nice variation without the push. So we have our squat thrust, where we come down, hands, pop into the plank, pop in, or we come down, step back, step in. Both offering a slightly different challenge in the movement. You can cycle squat thrust a little faster, which is great. We don't have to do the push, but we do have to keep in mind a few key points. For our burpee, we have to think about our humeral glide, keeping our elbow stacked over our wrist and our core tight. For our squat thrust, we have to keep those arms locked out, hand under shoulder, nice and strong and active, keeping that core tight. So there's a couple key points there that are a little different, but they share very common pieces in terms of that core position and making sure we're tight through that upper back and shoulder. Pick the one that's gonna rock you the most. We got 10 to 15 reps in this work set. There's a lot of volume there, so have some fun with those today. Our last exercise is the box jump. And if you have an apparatus at home that suits your needs for the box jump, you can take it down with a 2-foot jump. So we get about a foot away from the box. We swing, we stand tall, and we step down. We can also work on a nice single leg step up. So we have some different options here to work through. We can work on a lateral step over as well to change up that positioning, to take it a little bit lateral movement back and forth, keeping that foot up on top of the box as we transition over to the other side. And we also have some non-apparatus variations. comfortable with jumping, and you're like, I want to jump, but I don't have anything I'm comfortable jumping on, we can work on our vertical power jump. So we swing our arms into that power position, driving through the legs in that vertical position. So we swing, hop, and work on 10 good jumps with that vertical power to varying heights or whatever height you're comfortable with. We can also work on a nice broad jump. So we do the same swing into power position, except we jump forward instead of going up. So we make sure we're hitting those key positions nice and strong. I'll also have some other options in the workout description for you on this one. So check those out. Pick the one that you would like to take down the most. It's gonna be a really good day today, guys. It's gonna be a fun on the minute. Some things you gotta push, some things you'll be a little more relaxed in, but I hope you enjoy. Stacy, Randy, have a fantastic birthday today. I hope you have fun and enjoy this beeping good time. To everyone else, like I say, work for quality, have a ton of fun. We'll see you tomorrow for another birthday. All right, have a good day, you guys. Bye.